Okay, we're going to work on a couple of application problems now for 5.3. First one, John has a decision to make regarding his employment. He currently has a job at Taco Loco in Fortuna. After taxes, he makes about $9.20 per hour and works about 168 hours a month. He currently pays $400 per month for rent. He has an opportunity to move to Santa Rosa and take a job at Mi Ultimo Refugio, which would pay $10.30 per hour after taxes for 168 hours per month, but rent would be $570 per month. After paying for housing in Fortuna, how much does he have left over each month for other expenses? B, after paying for housing in Santa Rosa, how much would he have left over each month for other expenses? And C, for which job would he have more money left after paying rent and how much? Well, I think we're going to need another screen to do this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the stuff we need down here. And so the first thing we need to kind of do is write down the key items. So we know it's going to be $9.20 per hour for 168 hours. And he's going to have rent of $400 per month. That's for option one. Option two is going to be $10.30 per hour for, again, 168 hours. And here the rent's going to be $570 per month. Okay. All right, so let's multiply these out, because if we take the hourly rate times number of hours, that should give us the total he makes. After that, we're going to subtract off how much his rent is per month, and that gives us a total of how much he'll have left over once he pays the rent. Same thing for the other place in Santa Rosa, and we'll see what the rent is there. So if we take first 168 times 9.20, that's going to be 0, 0, 0. Then 2 times 8 is 16. 2 times 6 is 12 plus 1 is 13. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3. And then we have 9 times 8 is 72. And so then we have 9 times 6 is 54, 55, 56, 58, 59, 60, 61. And then we have 9 times 1 is 9 plus 6 is going to give us 15. So we add all that together, we get 0, 6, and then 3 and 2 is 5, 3 and 1 is 4, 5, 1, and we moved it 2 decimal places. So that's how much he'll make per month. Now we need to subtract off what his rent will be, 400. We'll go ahead and add those extra zeros. And so that means he's going to have 1145.60 left over for expenses. Okay. Now, what about this one over here? Well, here we're going to take 10.30 times 168. And now notice I put the 168 on the bottom here, but over here I put it on the top, and it really doesn't matter where you put it. This one I had 4 digits on the top to do, so I put it over here. This one I had the 0 on the denominator, so I put it on the bottom. So it kind of depends on your problems on which way you go. So 8 times 0 is going to be 0. Then 3 times 8 is 24. Carry, that's going to be 2. Then 8 times 1 is 8. Now 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 3 is 18, carry, and then we have 1. Then we have a 6. And then 1 times 0 is 0. And then we have a 3. Then we have a 0. Then we have a 1. So we'll add that all together. We have 0. And then we have a 4. 8 and 2 is 10. And that's 10. That's 13. That's 6. And 1 is 7. And that's 1. And we move 2 decimal places. And so we have that is how much they made in a month. Now we have to subtract off how much the rent's going to be. And we'll go ahead and add those zeros in. So that's going to be 0. That's going to be a 4. That's point. That's 0. Now we have to borrow, so that's a 6. So 13 minus 7 is 6. And 6 minus 5 is 1. And that's a 1. And so that's going to be left over after the rent. And so C was asking which one are we going to have more money left over? Well, Santa Rosa is going to have more money left over. and they're going to have $1,160.40. And so that's how much is going to be left over. So that would be the part C. He's going to have more money in Santa Rosa, and how much? He's going to have 1160.40 left over when he's done. All right, so those are how you're going to kind of solve problems where you are given a lot of information, and then you just have to kind of work your way through until you can answer all the questions. How about this one? Using 2008 Ohio farm custom rates, the average cost for spreading dry bulk fertilizer is about $4.50 per acre. What is the cost to fertilize 50 acres? Well, all we have to do is we have to take 4.50 times 50, and that's going to be our answer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 4.50 times 50. So that's going to be 0, 0, 0, then 0, 25. That's 22. And that's going to be 0, 0, 5, 2, 2, 2 spaces. So it looks like it's going to cost $225 for the 50 acres. Okay. And again, you just have to use what's given and see what works. And in this case, it's so much per acre times so many acres will give us the total cost for those 50 acres. All right, so here's one. A dozen centuries-old shipwrecks were found in the Baltic Sea by a gas company building an underwater pipeline between Russia and Germany. The 12 shipwrecks were found in a 30-mile-long and 1.2-mile-wide corridor at a depth of 430 feet. Model the corridor with a rectangle and find the approximate area of the region where the ships were found. All right, so what do we know? Well, we know there's going to be a rectangle, and it's not drawn to scale, but that's okay. And it's going to be 30 miles long, so that's going to be the length. The width is only 1.2 miles. Now the depth here, that's extra information. We don't care about that. So really, this part, it didn't matter. It could have been at 5 miles. It could have been at 20 miles. It could have been whatever, 1 foot. It doesn't matter. All we worry about is modeling the rectangle and finding the area. So what do we know about area of a rectangle? Well, area is just length times width. So now we just take 30 times 1.2, and that's going to be our area. So we have 1.2 times 30. So that's 0, that's 6, that's 3, move the decimal 1. So that's going to equal 36, and this units is miles squared. Okay, so 36 square miles. That's going to be our answer to this question. Now, the feet, again, don't mean anything, and so we didn't have to use that. We just wanted to know the rectangle, the length times width. Now, if we wanted volume, volume is going to be equal to length times width times height, and that height then would have been useful if we had a depth, but we don't want the volume, and so this isn't what we were looking for there. We just had to take the length times the width. That's all I have for these.